Welcome back into Rise Radio. This episode is actually a fun live that I did the other day and is all around Neville Goddard's book, The Power of Awareness, one of my favorite books, and specifically this quote, "Man's chief delusion is that there are causes outside of his consciousness." This was a really fun conversation. We talked about money, we talked about consciousness, we talked about how they relate to one another and how they impact one another, and it was a really deep and like I said, fun conversation. So I can't wait to hear how it lands for you. Leave me a comment below and let's get into it. Hello, happy Tuesday. Hey, it's Tuesday. We came live on the right day this time. I don't have a tapping activation for you today, but I do have a really good conversation. So there's that. Welcome in, whether you're live here with me on Facebook, watching from YouTube, or over on the podcast. I have a really, like I said, exciting conversation to have today with you. And it's based on, as I was out for a walk this morning, I was listening to one of my favorite books. It's called The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And the conversation I want to have today is based upon this quote from this book. "Man's chief delusion is that there are causes outside of his consciousness." And although I could talk for days on this, and I'm sure we can have quite a conversation, I have about 20 minutes before I am teaching lesson 2 inside Manifest, my 11-week group coaching program, which we are going to be going deeper into this topic today. So I thought, why not come on and just share a little bit of my perspective on this, because I know that so much has changed in my life through changing my consciousness, through upgrading my consciousness. Like, people ask, how were you able to go from living in government housing as a single mom to 2 tiny kids to moving to Costa Rica? That does not happen through figuring it out and piecing it together and working really hard. It happens through changing who you believe you are. It happens through upgrading your conscious awareness. That is what I did. In the moment, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a bit of an, assumption around manifestation. I knew like the basics of manifestation, like most people do. But I had no clue that I was quantum leaping my life through upgrading and changing my consciousness. It's so interesting. So I Googled this before in the perspective of Neville Goddard. Consciousness is the one and only reality. This is a quote. "The fundamental substance from which all of existence is created and the source of all experience." Neville Goddard taught that consciousness is your true self or awareness, and it is by bringing, my gosh, I can't read today, and it is by changing your consciousness, your beliefs and assumptions, that you can change your outer world, which he viewed as an external reflection of your inner state. So a lot of the work that I do today is, yes, based on my own personal experience, like lived, embodied experience, but I have been heavily influenced by a lot of incredible thought leaders, and one of them is Neville Goddard. So those of you that are listening that are in my world or have been in my world, you'll notice that is a lot of what I teach, is that your internal world is where you create from, right? You create your external reality through your beliefs and your thoughts and your assumptions, just like Neville just said here. We are constantly creating, from the inside out. But here's the thing, is that most people are actually creating from the outside in. They're creating more of what they already have through identifying and reacting to their current results. So if there is lack, if there is limitation, if there is not enough, we I'm not going to say we, because I don't, and maybe you do, and that's okay. We're all doing the best we can with what we have, and we're all consciously, you're here getting better and growing your conscious awareness, right? So people who are creating in that way and creating more of the same will look at those results and make it mean something. They'll get emotionally involved with it. Okay, so for example, if I was to say, I am a single mom waiting for the dad to show up, waiting for my situation to change, waiting for my business to grow. Of course, I can't go to Costa Rica. I can't even buy milk. How am I supposed to do that? Right? So if I was continuing on in that way, what would I create? More of that. More opportunity to stay right where I was. And that's not what I wanted. And actually, if you've heard my story before, you know that I did know that I wanted something different, but I actually didn't make the decision to go for it because I thought I needed to know how. I thought I needed the money first. I thought I needed the business to grow first, right, before I made the decision. But as you guys know, once I made that decision, I became consciously aware of my perceptions, my perceived limitations, and all of that, everything that we are experiencing in our 3D physical world, our perceptions, our assumptions right now. Remember, like Neville said, your outer world is an external reflection of your inner state, of your internal state. So all of what I was previously reacting to was just old information. And once I made a decision, I became really, really aware of what my beliefs and my assumption had been up until then. And I say this all the time to my clients, but like the first sign that you are upgrading or ascending or elevating in your conscious awareness is you begin to really become aware of the people around you and their awareness, or you'll become really hyper aware of your, like I said, your results, your perceptions, and how they're not serving you. All of a sudden they get really loud and you're like, oh my gosh, everything around me like just feels so so much in the opposite, right? So much in the contrast of what I don't want. So that's really beautiful. And I'm always like, celebrate that, because that means that you are elevating in your consciousness. So if you have a consciousness of lack, poverty, and limitation, nothing will change until you change your beliefs around yourself, your worth, and your relationship, in my opinion, with money. Okay, so I created a program that actually starts on Monday, and that was another motive of me coming on here and talking about this with you, because I see so many brilliant, like powerful, incredible women in my world playing so much smaller than they could be. Okay, and I know that part of my divine purpose here on this planet is to help women to dream, help them to take back their power and remember their truth within, so that they can alchemize their past and turn it into their purpose, so they can go out and serve the world and become the biggest, brightest, boldest, wildest, most authentic version of themselves and serve the world in a way that feels effortless to them. So again, I came on here because I want to talk about this program. Because I'm seeing, like, and maybe this is some of you watching, women with real live experiences, like lived experiences, women with magic. You have so much wisdom, you have so much potential. And honestly, like, that's one of my gifts. I feel like, as like my human design as a projector, right, is like I can see your potential. I see only your potential. And sometimes that gets me into trouble, right? But that's okay. I'm here to remind you of your innate greatness. And so maybe you've been waiting for one day. You've been waiting for, like I said, the right moment. You've been waiting for the permission. You've been waiting for your business to grow. You've been waiting for your kids to get older. Like, I know what it feels like to want the business, the income, the freedom, but not feel like you're ready or not feel like you're worthy. Worthiness is huge. Okay. So I also know what happens the moment that you decide to claim it. You elevate. And that's, like I said, what caused that quantum shift. It's everything shifts the moment that you take your power back and you remember, who am I actually here to be? And I love this so much. Again, I do this all the time. I really need to re-listen to this. Neil Donald Walsh has this series called Conversations with God, and it's on YouTube. It's incredible. Um, but he talks about how life is not a series of challenges. It's not what we've been taught it is. It's not like this, like, I need to like overcome all these challenges to like figure out who I am. No, it's actually, who do I want to be? And then stripping off all the layers of the shit that we've collected along the way, all of the projections, the assumptions, the perceptions, the, like the you have to or else, all of those. It's that's what life is it's remembering our truth that is within, remembering as well our oneness with the infinite creative source, whatever you want to call that, right? So and then it's deciding, I'm ready to own it. I'm not going to wait anymore. And this is exactly why I created this mini mind. Okay, so we have all been through our own life, right? Our own beautiful life. There were some hardships, there were some sticky bits, there were some fucking highs and real lows. Like, there was a lot that we lived through up until this moment right now. We experienced a lot, and it's very, very unique to each and every one of us. And that is so beautiful. That's what makes us so unique and so different, because at the core of all of us, every single one of us, we're all the same. And it's the life that makes, like, life that we've lived through, that makes it so beautiful and so exciting, right? So as creators, that which we are, right? That is what we are. As our human experience, we are not our human body. We are a piece of the entire ocean, right? And our work here is to create our natural tendencies, is to create. That is why I believe that mental health has a lot to do with our perceptions around creating. And I know that's a bold claim, but I believe it. And I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've experienced it with my own body, right? Depression is, in my opinion, you have lost the realization or lost the vision for what you're really here to do, and that is create. Because when we are in our essence of creating, when we are living in full alignment with our passion, our truth, we are fucking magnetic, and we feel so good, right? We just like radiate. What do we radiate? Everything that is us. And we attract it back to us. We go out into the world just feeling on top of the frickin' world. Okay, how does it feel when you feel depressed? How does it feel when you are, in a low vibration? Most of the time, it's because we are reacting to our circumstances or something that someone projected onto us without realizing it's nothing to do with us and it's everything to do with them. Okay, we might just be rattling some old information inside of them and bringing it up for them, and they, with their level of conscious awareness, don't realize it and are projecting it onto us. Okay, I know this is an in-depth conversation, but I trust that the right people are going to hear it. By the way, let me know if you're watching. I think it's actually good that I can't see who's watching, and I can't see if people are watching on Facebook. But leave me a comment. Let me know if this is landing for you, because I know that, this will land for the right people. Okay. So the beautiful thing with each of us having gone through our lives in the way that we have gone through our lives is that when it comes to creating, we get to create in the way that feels unique to us and feels authentic to us. But we've been taught along the way, this like fires me up so fucking much. We've been taught along the way that it needs to look a certain way. It needs to fit in this goddamn box. It needs to fit in the Instagram bio, right? It needs to look a certain way. It needs to go from A to B to C and so on. And the truth is, as visionary, creative, female entrepreneurs, our journey is not going to be linear, right? And our work is not going to be able to fit in a box. And so the core concept here is the realization that our wisdom is ours, and our movement, our method, the way that we show up and lead is ours, and it's not going to look like anyone else's. And that's actually the really beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur today, because the work is not who has the best funnel, in my opinion, who has the best social media reach. The work is who can be their most authentic self and live fully and completely in alignment with your highest self and have the most fucking fun. Because guess what? There's a lot of really wealthy people on this planet that are unhappy, that are unfulfilled, that don't have any time. We don't want that. And actually, that tends to be a belief and a block for a lot of people, especially women, because we're like, oh, I want to lead a movement. I want to have my own method. I want to teach certifications. I want to have this incredible, just ever-growing business that impacts thousands. I want to fly first class to speak on these stages, all of the things, right? But then we have this belief, I'm not going to have time. I'm not going to be able to be present with my kids. It's going to take a lot of work. What if it doesn't have to be that way? What if you can do business and create your empire based upon living in full alignment with your truth and having the most fun ever and attracting everything you need to you in the perfect timing? It's available. It's available. Okay. So I know that I attract women that are here to do pretty big things, right? I just know that about myself, and I know that about you. Okay, so you're here to make a difference. You're here to make an impact. You're here to make the world a better place. These women that find their way into my world wear their heart on their sleeve, right? We are so compassionate. We would literally do anything for anyone. We tend to put other people first, right? That is a habit that we have acquired. And although it is not bad in a sense, we tend to dim our light. We tend to downplay our greatness, and we tend to smother our own natural desire to lead because we put other people first. So we tend to tell ourselves, one day I'll do that. First, I'm going to do this, right? I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'm good as them. What other things have you been telling yourself? Because I know this is true for so many of you, right? You have just this undeniable urge to serve, right? You're like, I'm here for so much more. I just don't know how, or I don't feel ready, or whatever it is, right? So I also know that to lead a movement, but to not lead a movement through the hustle and the force, to lead it through the flow and the ease, in full alignment with you and your highest version and vision, a movement that really truly gives you life. It energizes you and provides overflowing amounts of abundance to you. I know that you need to heal and release and reframe your relationship with money. Okay, your relationship with wealth, because your wealth is a reflection of your worth. And I know that is, again, a bold claim to make, but in my opinion, it's true. I've experienced this again and again. So this is part of the work that we are going to do together inside the mini mind. The mini mind's called Money Method Movement, and it is 3 weeks, and it starts on Monday, December 1st, and it's $33. So you have no reason to not be inside. I'm going to talk about the 3 topics that we're going to cover. Okay, it's 3 weeks. There's 3 different topics. The first one is money, because like I just said, no matter what you do, and I've seen this again and again and again and again, no matter how hard you work, no matter what fucking strategy you have, no matter what niche you're in, no matter what business you are in, whether you're a coach, a mentor, a service provider, whether you are a freaking attorney or a real estate agent, it does not matter what business you are in. If you have a poor relationship with money and a poor self-image, if you hold the consciousness of someone who is broke, maybe you have had experiences with losing money in the past or living in a poverty state, there's a chance that that is still running the show as an unconscious program. And we're going to go straight fucking to it. There's no more shoving it in the closet, because that doesn't work. That's why I created my tapping method, the expand method, because we must face the fears, discomforts. We must face the the wobbles, the contrast, the what ifs, the hows. We must face it and then move through it. And that's a lot of what we're going to be doing in week 1. So we're going to upgrade your relationship with money, and so that you can start receiving based on your truth, not your hustle. Because you don't have to work really hard. We've been lied to. Things have changed. We are becoming more and more aware every single day as a collective, and this is the work now. Okay, and I know that there's a lot of people that make a lot of money through hustle and grind and force. I know also that that's not what we're here for. So let's create it from the inside out and work with the law of assumption instead of against it, and create the life of abundance. Actually declare, I am here to be a multimillionaire. And I feel good about that. I feel confident about that. Okay, the second week is method. We're going to clarify, claim, and articulate your unique method from your lived experiences, from your wisdom, and you're going to freaking own it. I'm going to teach you some ways, some embodiment practices. We're going to tap on this. You're going to own it without resistance, because you know in the depths of your core it's who you are. Okay, it's not something you're trying to fake or like make it work, or try it and like just in case it doesn't work out you have like a plan B and a plan C. No, we're burning all the bridges, and we are owning the fact that your method is unique to you. No one else on this planet can do it in the way you do, and it's going to continue to evolve and get better as you do. So that's week 2 is method. And then week 3 is movement. So in week 3, we're going to fully embody the fact that you're here to lead a revolution, so that you can magnetize your dreamiest clients to you, whatever industry you're in. Remember, this is not just for coaches or service providers. Okay, you can magnetize these people to you, so like to the level of they can't look away. They're literally like, there's something about this person, I just need to like get closer, I need to get into their world. And it happens all the time to me, all the time to my clients. So that's what we're going to be doing over 3 weeks. If this speaks to you, I have the link in the comment here on Facebook. I'm going to put it in the show notes of the podcast, in the description on YouTube. Reach out to me directly on Instagram. It's all over my Instagram and my stories, in my link in bio. Come and join us. We start on Monday. If you are still here listening to this, chances are something inside of you is like, yes, I'm so fucking here for it. I am so here to go bigger and do more without the hustle and grind. I'm ready to upgrade my inside world. And you recognize that your relationship with money can use some intention. Okay, and how do we know that? Because we look at the numbers that are in our current reality. Look at your bank account. Okay, if you have been telling yourself, I'm doing all the things, time is the only variable, I want you to join us. Okay, if you've been feeling called to go bigger, to serve bigger, to stop holding yourself back in any way, shape, or form, I want you to come and join us. It's $33 for 3 weeks, 3 live calls, group chat, integration. It's going to be absolutely revolutionary, and I can't freaking wait. There is going to be tapping, following my expand tapping method, and this is so good. We've been talking a lot about money inside Moneyvember, inside my mastermind, the Quantum Leap, and this is a topic that I am realizing is so important for entrepreneurial women today, right? Money, wealth, self-worth, it's all so connected. That is also why inside Manifest, we are talking a lot about money and claiming the fact that we are here for more and deciding this is actually my truth. This is actually my reality. And it is safe for me to call it in, to own it, to hold it, to receive it. Because if we don't believe that we are safe of receiving more money, of being paid higher rates, of working with a higher caliber client, it's not going to happen. But it's all based upon our beliefs and our consciousness. Remember the quote that we started with, man's chief delusion is that there are causes outside of his consciousness. So now our work and what we're going to be doing inside the mini mind is upgrading our consciousness to match that of the wish fulfilled, so that we can live in alignment with that being already our reality, regardless of what our circumstances are. Okay, it's going to be so fun. So come and join us. The link is everywhere. I'll see you inside. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, say hi if you're even on the replay. Say hi. I got to go now. We are starting lesson 2 inside Manifest, but I can't wait to see you guys inside the mini mind. Bye. Mm-hmm.